What are the top 2 or 3 issues that Koch is interested in?
Well, they're thought of as an oil company, but they're really not. What they do is they have big manufacturing plants, and they take oil, wood, plastics, polymers, and turn them into either what's called feedstocks or products. And you'll get to know some of the products as Dixie cups or Brawny paper towels. But they basically try to stop the federal government and the state governments from over-regulating these manufacturing plants.
How much is Koch Industries worth?
Koch Industries is worth about $100 billion in revenues per year. And that puts it at about the level of Verizon or General Motors on the list of big American corporations.
Koch Industries has dramatically beefed up its lobbying in Washington. What do those numbers look like?
Well, as recently as 2004, Koch only spent $850,000 lobbying in Washington. But in 2008 alone, they spent $20 million. And in the last Congress, they added another $20 million to that. So that's a pretty huge jump in a very short space of time.
Can you take one Koch example and explain how lobbying works in Washington?
During the Bush years, there was some talk about regulating greenhouse gases, but it never got very far until all of a sudden the Democrats took over Congress and it looked like Obama was going to come in and support things. And so then you had Koch spending a lot of money opposing any attempts by the EPA or by through legislation on Capitol Hill to limit the amount of greenhouse gases and so put a cap on global warming.
What makes Koch stand out from what other companies are doing?
It's one of the 20 biggest corporations in total in the United States. So when a private company like this all of a sudden decides that it's going to make a stand in Washington and move as dramatically and suddenly as it did, it does cause ripples in the pond.